Hello everyone, it is Thursday, Vlogust 18th, and normally I've been doing things I like Thursdays, but today I'm thinking about things that I appreciate and things that I am grateful for. And the more I think about it, the more I realize it's people. That's what I'm probably most grateful for, what I most appreciate in my life. Because everything else just kind of comes from having the amazing people that I have in my life. And, I mean, of course it starts with my family, who is dynamic and very loving and is very giving. And though we all have our differences, there's a number of different personalities within my family. We're accepting of each other. And that leads to my friendships. Now, of course, there's Jenny, who is family and friend and wife. She's amazing. She's incredibly patient with me, and I can be a difficult person. I can be a lot to put up with, a lot to handle, a bit much at times, perhaps. And very much for that reason, my buddies have nicknamed her the Saint, for putting up with me, committing to a lifetime of putting up with me, or as they like to put it, taking the bullet for the rest of them. Yeah, that sounds pretty harsh, but I'll explain that with a story about how a friend of mine described our friendship years ago. And we were driving around somewhere, and he, kind of out of the blue, gets all serious with me and is like, "Hey man, I gotta tell you something." And I don't really know how to say it without it sounding bad at first, but it's not as bad as it sounds. It's not bad. I just need to tell you, and I have to say the first part for you to understand the second part, so don't get upset. Just listen. I was like, "Alright man, what's up?" He says, sometimes it's really hard being your friend, man. And I was like, "What?" He's like, hear me out. And I started to get a little upset just from that statement. He says, "It's really hard being your friend because you have such high expectations." He says, "You expect a lot of your friends, and you hold anyone who's a friend, definitely anyone who's a good friend of yours, to kind of a high standard of friendship." And I was all like, "I'm sorry, man." I was like, didn't really know what to say, and he was like, "Well, it's just a lot to live up to, but listen." And then he goes on to say, "Though you have such expectations of your friends, though you expect so much out of them, whether or not you get that, you give that and more, which makes it really awesome being your friend." And I gotta say, that's probably one of the nicest compliments I've ever been given, one of the nicest things someone has ever said to me. And I think that might be, at least in part of the reason why I've had so many incredible friendships in my life. I mean, I've had really great friendships, still have great friendships, and I'm really grateful for that. And though I can be a bit much at times, and though uh, I may expect a lot out of people, I feel like it's made me a great friend because I care so much, and because I give so much, and I get that from coming from the family that I come from. And so those are things that I'm really grateful for, and I really appreciate. My friends, my family, and the fact that I'm a good friend. And and yeah, so that's it for today. Things I'm grateful for Thursday. You guys have a great one, and don't forget to be awesome.